looked down and saw he had a smile upon his face. Even on this sad occasion, it was perfectly in place. He was my favorite uncle, everybody's friend, and I can still hear him say, right up till the end, life is for the living. If you're not embracing every moment, you're wasting precious time. If you're not loving somebody, you're really not alive. This ain't no dress rehearsal, our time down here on earth. Sometimes it takes somebody leaving to remind us what it's worth, and all the blessings we've been given. Life is for the living. I loved a woman, at least I thought I did, till she just couldn't take what I just wouldn't give. Spend all my time working when I should have loved her more. I can still hear her say, as she walked out the door, life is for the living. If you're not embracing every moment, you're wasting precious time. If you're not loving somebody, you're really not alive. This ain't no dress rehearsal, our time down here on earth. Sometimes it takes somebody leaving to remind us what it's worth, and all the blessings we've been given. Life is for the living. No, this ain't no dress rehearsal, our time down here on earth. Sometimes it takes somebody leaving to remind us what it's worth, and all the blessings we've been given. Life is for the living. Life is for the living.
That's Eric Dodge's song, Life is for the Living, from his Why Not Today CD. And Why Not Today is on that CD too. And I got to produce that CD many years ago. So I've got my cup of tea, and we just got the most amazing testimonial for this tea. I got to get out. I got to quit crying. It's been one of those kind of days where the least little thing would set me off into tears. And I think it has to do with our legacy. But I'm gonna read you this testimonial first. I got it on my iPad right here. Okay, here we go. And she just really didn't believe us. She didn't believe me when I said things. So here's the testimony. If you haven't signed up to get our emails, you've got to do it. Get signed up. We've had a couple thousand people sign up in the last 24 hours. So here's the test. I got to blow it up big so I can see it. Okay. This is, dear Fly Lady, this is my first testimonial. I've been fluttering for many years. Fluttering is flying, y'all. That's exercising your wings. It's not a bad thing. I've been flying for many years, and I absolutely love the program. I can honestly say If it wasn't for my faith in God and my faith in the Fly Lady, I would have never made it through this pandemic. I purchased many of the Fly Lady products, and I have been overly satisfied with each and every one. I say these things because I want you to understand where I'm coming from before I give you the testimony about the Body Clutter Wise Women's Tea. I don't want you to think I am one of those negative Nancys who do nothing but complain about this or that. Now, I watch and listen to the Fly Lady twice a day, faithfully. I don't always listen live, but I always listen. Well, thank you. I have listened to her praise certain things, and I have listened to her disapprove of certain things. Yes, I do have opinions. Always her opinion is respected day after day. The Fly Lady goes on and on about how wonderful this Body Clutter Wise Women's Tea is, how it satisfies all of her senses, and how it feels like a hug. Yeah. And how it is medicinal, how basically we all need to get this tea. Well, I don't care if you buy it or not, but I like it, and we had it made for us. Well, every time Fly Lady praises this tea, I say to myself, come on now, Marla. There is no way any tea can be all of that to all people. I love you, Marla, but please. But because I'm a tea lover, I thought, what the heck? Call right now. So I'll give this a whirl. Oh, I lost my place. Running low, so I'll give this a whirl. After all, the price is very reasonable. So this morning, my tea arrived, along with a bundle of my Wise Women supplements. That's 4. She got all 4 of them. And I am surprised at what happened after that. Next. First, I smelled something. Oh, great. The bag must have been damaged in transit. No, everything was still intact. But wait, the smell. This aroma was something I have never smelled before. So good, but indescribable. So I ripped open the bag of tea. Wow. I stuck my head in the bag. Well, the bag isn't big enough to stick your head in, but you can stick your nose in. You can stick your nose in. You can stick your nose in it. Uh-oh, I'm about to knock my tea over. Let's see, where'd I get to? But wait, this smells wrong. I stuck my head in the bag and took a deep breath. Delicious beyond belief. Next, I brewed myself a cup of this Wise Women's Tea. Let me tell you, never in my life have I been able to drink a cup of tea without sugar or milk until now. The aroma is surpassed only by the taste. It is not bitter, so it needs no sweetener. It is not sharp, so it needs no creamer. It is smooth and flavorful and aromatic, and absolutely the best tea I've ever had in my entire life. Now, I'm no spring chicken. I am 55 years old, and I've been around quite a few tea bags in my day. This tea, indeed, does satisfy every one of the senses. And yes, Marla, it's like getting a great big hug. Dear Fly Lady, your fly baby stands corrected. God bless you and keep you. We need you now more than ever. Fly baby Naline. Is that not the sweetest testimonial ever? So, my tea, I got a clear cup so you could see how beautiful this tea is. I make this all the way full. This is 20 ounces. It's about 3 cups. And I put 3 bags in here. 3 bags. I made it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And this Fly Lady water bottle keeps it hot. And it's just the right temperature. So I can hug my cup. The color makes me happy. The color of the tea makes me happy. The smell, it just, oh my. I wish you could smell it. But you can if you get a bag. The taste, it's just lovely. We developed this tea because I started doing tea time because I knew I needed the tea. And Leanne and I developed this tea after listening to a TED Talk by Dr. William Li, who told us that of the medicinal properties of different types of teas and how they're compounded when you mix them together. So we put them together into a nice 1 bag. Let me show you a bag. It's 1 little round bag of tea. This is our bag of tea. It's about, about not even a tablespoon of tea. But the green color of the bag is the staining of the bergamot. And it's a green tea, a black tea, and Earl Grey. And there's no string, and there's no paper. And this is it's an organic filter. And it's no mess. So this makes us happy to have a tea that, and I started doing the tea time because I knew I wouldn't drink tea for me. But if I had to sit down and talk to you with a cup of tea in my hand, I would drink it. And you know, it's absolutely touches all your senses. The sight, the touch, the smell, the taste. And the only way you can hear it is if my bottle makes a little hissing sound because of the steam, or when it boils. So that gets all 5 senses. All 5 senses. And I really love to hug a cup. So as I'm hugging my little cup, just think of me hugging you. So today I've been watching Mark Bowe, and he takes down log cabins. And I've told you many times that I feel like maybe I should have been born in the late 1800s, that I loved Little House on the Prairie. I loved the books growing up, reading them. But I see a log cabin, and I think about the history of the log cabin and the legacy that it has lasted. This cabin has lasted. These cabins that he takes down and he gives new life in different places. And one of the places was in Gatlinburg, where they had a bad fire, and they took a cabin and they rebuilt it for these folks after they had this terrible fire in Gatlinburg a few years ago, and it was a wildfire. And so I think about the legacy that we leave for our family, and we get to decide what that legacy is going to be, unless you're taken from your family at a young age. But we get to decide right now what that's going to be. And could it be a legacy of clutter and stuff, that they've got to deal with? Or is it going to be a legacy of the love? We got a testimonial one time from a young man who had to clean out his great aunt's apartment. And everything she had fit in the trunk of his car. And he said, she spent her life doing things for others. She didn't spend her life on stuff. She spent her life blessing others with her love and her abundance. And right now, in a time where we're dealing with this terrible virus that has invaded the world and separated us from our families, and we can't be with our children on Mother's Day. And then last night I saw a report of this family. It was like 8 siblings who had come together to be close to their mother, who was in a nursing home. And I don't know what state it was, but she was going to be 101 years old. And she had been diagnosed with this stupid virus because she's in a nursing home. And these siblings rented a house, and it was the first time in 50 years or more that they had been together sharing one bathroom, and it brought back such amazing memories for them of fighting over a bathroom and doing the things. But they wanted to be close to their mom. They couldn't be with her in the nursing home, but they could go up to the window. They couldn't open the window, but they could play her favorite music outside the window, and they were just doing things to be there for her. And so many elderly people right now are alone and suffering and sad. And Robert and I had a friend that died last week, and he was alone when he died, and we think he knew he was going to die. And it just, the neighbor found him. You know, it's just sad, but people die alone. So many years ago, I did an event in Las Vegas for the American Mothers Association. And I gave a speech, and it was the first speech we ever recorded. And it used to be up on our website. I don't know if it is anymore, but I have a section of our, website that has some of my speeches, and they're like $5 or something. And it was a tribute to it was a breakfast, and it started the day off with remembering all the women who had passed that year, all the women that had passed away. And Amy was there, and Amy's mother was there, Cecilia, and Amy's sisters were there, and it was just a beautiful tribute. They sang together as mother and daughters, and I'm sitting there watching this legacy of love and music that has been passed on to Amy and her sisters and her sisters' children. And I remember that today. What this legacy of love they had given. And then in 2000, before I gave that speech, and it was a sad speech. My sister Patty said, "We can't sell this speech. It's too sad." And I said, "No, there was a reason that this legacy came to me to give this speech, and I just believe it was the Holy Spirit working." And sure enough, a few years later, I got a message from a 16-year-old girl. It came to me from somebody, and then I got in touch with her. She said her mom had passed away, And that because of her Fly Lady control journal, and she had a big one, she was able, and she had young siblings, she was able to have Thanksgiving dinner because her mother had it all down in the control journal. And that she was able to step in and not miss a beat when it came to Christmas and Thanksgiving holidays, because her mom had used the Fly Lady system to get ready for her own death. And she sent me a picture of her mother's tombstone. And they had engraved the cartoon character behind me on the tombstone. Because her mother had wanted to come to that American Mother speech, but she was too sick to come to my speech. Sorry, y'all. And the reason I know all this because I did a search in all my emails, and I get thousands and thousands of emails a day. But I did a search in all my emails for some reference to her, and I found it. And then I found where she had purchased that speech that my sister Patty said was too maudlin, sad, too sad to sell. And she had taken my words and she had used the legacy that I talked about, leaving for her family, to make sure that she left her family with a semblance of her and where everything was and how they could keep going. Well, this little girl, this 16-year-old girl, was a senior in high school. She was a cheerleader, and I was worried to death that she was not getting to be a child, that she was pushed into adulthood too soon. So Amy Lacey, our songwriter, who writes all of our beautiful songs, she lived in the same town. And I asked the grandmother for the address, and Amy went and checked on them. Hands-on, to make sure everything was okay. And sure enough, it was. It was wonderful. So I didn't worry about this little girl anymore. I think her name was Christy. And it was just, what legacy are you going to leave for your family? Are you going to have them have to work to get rid of your clutter because you've collected so much stuff? Are they going to remember how short patient you were with them growing up? We have a choice here. We can get our houses in order, and we can leave our children with a sense of peace, knowing that you have been the parent they needed, the grandparent they needed. So it's a powerful, powerful world we live in. And everything happens for a reason. But we don't have to sit and wallow in our clutter. We can bless others. Today, a young friend of mine, young mom, who I've known for 12 or 14 years. No, probably not that long. Maybe 10 years. She used to work at Fontana Village, where it's a lake that Justin and Emily like to go. They love to go to. And I got to meet this young lady there, and she had a little daughter, and they moved to Florida, where they're from. But she just got a job, and she's going to Katy, Texas, and I was telling her how proud I was of her, and, you know, giving her a little unsolicited advice, which she knew. She's used it a lot. But she was getting rid of clutter. They were packing up the things they loved, and one of the things they loved was her daughter, who's in high school now, loved this little doll named, I think her name was Jenny, the doll was. It was an American Girl doll that looked just like her. And she said, that's the one thing she had packed up from her room that she really wanted to keep, was this beautiful doll that looked a lot like her. And we talked about clutter, and she said she had gotten rid of boxes and boxes of stuff on OfferUp. And I thought, well, that's wonderful. So she's blessing others with her abundance so that she can move and not have to have so much stuff with her. It's going to make her move so much easier to Texas. So everybody, keep that family in your prayers. Keep the family in Las Vegas in your prayers. And know that we have the ability to leave a legacy of love instead of clutter. We do. And with tomorrow being Mother's Day, and a lot of us can't be with our families tomorrow, then let's take a moment to pick up the phone and call them and love on them the best way you can with FaceTime and Messenger. We can do this. We can leave a legacy of love and kindness and of blessing others with our abundance. So here's to the legacy we leave. And you have the choice. And I didn't even put my headphones on. I didn't even put my earbuds in. I totally forgot it. I hope y'all could hear me. I didn't even have I just been so upset today over that. I love you all. Drink up. Enjoy the tea. And happy Mother's Day. See you later. I'll have a show tomorrow afternoon, but not one in the morning. It's church time. Bye.